Alright guys, so today we got the S14 in the shop. I showed you at the end of the last video, but there's quite a few issues with the exhaust system. So we're going to go ahead and start putting some 3-inch V-bands in and fixing a couple of the other issues with the system. Alright, we'll go ahead and start getting this exhaust all off. All right, this guy out. A lot of things you can use. Don't use clamps. All right, so I got the downpipe off. You can see this side when they cut it, definitely has a pretty good little step there. Looks like they're probably using a Sawzall. So I'm gonna put it on the bandsaw, get it flat, and then get it cleaned up. One thing you always wanna do with these guys, if you're gonna try and weld to an old exhaust that's already been used, make sure you grind out the inside really good, get that soot off there, maybe clean it up with some acetone. Never use any brake clean. And then on the outside, we'll use some Scotch-Brite. We actually have a Scotch-Brite wheel. That'll take this thing off really good, but if you don't, you can always use some Scotch-Brite just from the house. Make sure you get it all cleaned up so that your weld will actually be decent on this. We're using a couple of our 3-inch V-band assemblies, quick release, male, female, got a little recess for the material. Definitely one of the best ways to go as far as fabricating, makes it super easy to mock up, tack up, and weld. So we're gonna go ahead and get the V-bands welded, tacked on to both sides of the downpipe and the catback, get it back up on the car. I'll actually probably go ahead and weld them because I'll have the center still to do all the fabricating with, so I won't necessarily need to have them just tack. If I tack them, put them up, I'm just gonna have to take them down an extra time. So I'll go ahead and just weld them on, and then I can build the middle section. Alright, so I got everything bolted back up on the car. We got our other V-bands here. Before we get too far, I mean, one thing I always do, just, you know, this downpipe obviously has a lot of motion. It can go a lot of places, so kind of get it in where you want it, get it in the right position. Catback's the same way. You can slide all the way over and be touching either side here. Just make sure you got it kind of lined up, center in the hanger, kind of where you want it to be. Benefit of those quick clamps. I'll go ahead and tack the front. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build the front from the V-band, and then the back from the V-band, and then I'll tack the cat on the car. You can do it a lot of different ways. I find this to be the easiest. Put at least a couple tacks on each one of your V-bands so that once you tack the cat, this thing doesn't shift around when you go to weld it. So got all the fab work done. Now I went ahead and moved this up. I try and get these as high up in here as we can. This car's pretty low, and we're gonna put coilovers on it and probably keep it about the same ride height, but it's already pretty low. So I went ahead and got it up. You know, however you tack, it's how it's gonna sit. So make sure you're clear on all your shields. It's not touching back here. It's like good, it's centered. Everything's good up here. So we'll go ahead and tack it on the car now, and we'll weld it and then reinstall it, make sure our fitment's good.
All right, got this thing all welded up. Came out really nice. V-band's welded up really good. We'll go ahead and get it installed back on the car here. These cats are a little bit tricky doing the welds on them. I always try and weld from the actual material that's going into the slip of the cat up to the cat. If you kind of weld from the cat down, it's going to be real choppy. It's going to want to take away material. So to get a more even look, that's how I do it. Hopefully it came out pretty clean. Alright, so it's all bolted back up on the car. Definitely happy with the way it came out. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we'll be doing more of these real soon. Thanks, guys.